Well, cool. First and foremost, thank you for being here. All right. I know it's taking time out of your schedule, and I appreciate y'all showing up. We've had several of the same people here for several weeks now, and I really appreciate you showing up. But I talked to Christina quite a bit. We kind of work hand in hand together, and she helps me and I help her. And she laughs at me because I never know what I'm going to teach each week, right? And I'm like, well, Thursday morning, it tends to just kind of pop in my head of what we should talk about. And I'm working out this morning. I get done. I'm like, that's what I'm going to talk about. All right. And let me check the chat real quick. Oops. So I was like, hey, I know what I'm going to talk about. And it was called Halftime Adjustments. What tweaks are you making to your game plan? Right. So the reason we entitled that is, number one, I'm a big sports fan. Grew up playing sports, listen to sports podcasts. Hopefully Boston wins tonight and extends to Game 7. So let's go Celtics. I just don't like the Warriors, so that's why. But anyways, we're coming up on the halfway point of the year. All right, July 1st starts the third quarter. All right, so I like to think about it as 4 quarters in a game, football or basketball or whatever sport. All right, so we need to make halftime adjustments as we head into these last couple of weeks of June. All right, so that we're making sure that we're ready to go right out of the gate starting July 1st. All right, John Maxwell, a big leadership person, lots of books. You know, the greatest coaches make the best halftime adjustments. So we're going to kind of review a little bit what we've done so far this year, what's working well. Let's double down on that and make sure that we consistently do those things. And what can we change? What can we add? What can we take away that's kind of wasting our time so that we can do great in the second half, right? This is kind of new for us. I have some rules of the class, pretty basic rules, but I think they make a big difference. Last week, we had several people on here sharing. And I think when we share our experiences or questions or successes, it's really, really good for all of us, all right? It's kind of like you don't want to raise your hand because you just are scared to share. All right, but let's share. Let's get the most out of this time together. All right, and whatever you're asking, probably somebody else in the class is thinking. All right, so don't be afraid to get in there and share. We will be doing some collaboration a little bit later here in a second. Take notes, all right? So pretty much every single time that I'm in a training, I'm jotting down something, some little nugget that I heard. Maybe I'm addressing something with Christina or Adolfo specifically to them, but you go, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that as well. Or how can I implement that into my game plan and business plan, right? And then invite people, right? I'd love to share this with as many people as possible. Just a quick shout out of like how this all came about. Productive Agents was, I guess, quote unquote, founded by myself back last July. So we're coming up on 1 year of Productive Agents. And it started off with pretty much me and Christina. And there are a few others, and I had about 8 agents kind of spread out throughout Texas. And then I told Alan Grulick about it. So he added his people, as he's one of my mentors. And then his people joined in. Mark Chambers, his people joined in. And now I think we're up to about 160 people in the Productive Agents private group, which is cool. And I started kind of finding that passion of teaching again, as I come from a teaching background. Invite people. We want this to spread. And that's me knocking on wood. I'm hoping to start an expansion on this. We're going to keep doing this every Thursday, but I'm hoping to start a podcast called Productive Agents next month. So I'm looking at implementing that and kind of getting my voice and our voice and bringing in other agents to talk about what they're doing and how they're being productive and growing their business and sharing that. So price of the class, I get this from a podcast guy, Andy Frisella, that I listen to. The price of the class is to share. We just want you to share and invite anytime you get the invite here. So let's start off real quick. Wins and struggles. We like to start this off. I'm going to stop sharing. Does anybody have a win that they would like to share with everybody?
I was
Well,
going to go first, but I felt like Clay should go first. I feel
yeah,
like he's got the
absolutely. I was gonna
biggest.
say, Clay should go first. Go for it, Clay.
All right. Well, thanks, Christina. It was really Christina last week telling me to go take that test. So I took my test on Monday and I passed the national and the Texas portion. Pretty happy.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the week, I've been getting onboarded. And this morning, I completed my onboarding with EXP, and so I'm officially a licensed agent now. So
Yeah, that's
All right,
awesome.
congratulations.
I think that's one of the biggest hurdles, honestly, is just to get through all your courses and pass the test, and then now we can hit the ground running as far as figuring out how to do the actual business. So congratulations.
right, thanks so much for all the help and everything. So
Yeah, absolutely. Christina, did you say you have a win?
I have a win. My clients, we went under contract yesterday, 5,000 under list price.
Nice.
So it's all going smoothly so far. And then I'll be listing their house as well. So 2 deals, hopefully closing up this summer.
Yeah, so like in a month from now, she'll be out of the mentor program. So like all the new agents are assigned a mentor. I'm her mentor, and along with several other agents. So once they complete 3 transactions, then they are out of the mentor program and making the big bucks. So that's exciting. Congratulations. Anybody else have a win? Roland has a win. I know
Yes.
Roland has a win. Let's do it.
Yes, I have a win. So yesterday went under contract as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty new to all this stuff. So Tony is guiding me through the way, and I appreciate your help, Tony. So we'll get there and hopefully we reach the finish line. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Congrats, man. Anybody else have a win? How are things going? Cool. Any struggles? Anything that you're going, hey, how do I convince this buyer to keep buying with the interest rates going up? Somebody's backing out. Are there any things that we're worried about that we want to throw it out there and see if we can come together and help each other out?
I mean, I have a question kind of with my clients that just went under contract. So they're going through Homeward, which if you're not familiar with it, some of y'all, it's, sorry, my kid is like real loud. Okay, so basically Homeward's buying the house for them. And then once we sell their current house, they'll buy it back from Homeward, right? And works really well that we didn't have to like list their house yet or anything. But basically they can either pick their interest rate and lock it now, or they can get their interest rate when they're ready to close. So after we sell their house, which will probably be a month or 2. And I think interest rates are supposed to keep going up, right?
Yes.
I think they came down a little bit today, but I mean, not by a lot, but yeah, I mean, they're projected to keep going up.
I think the goal was from the government was to be like at 7 or 8%, right? By like August.
That's the word on the street. Yeah.
So that's when they would be closing. So I told them tentatively lock the rate now because it'll probably only be higher, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong in that.
Well, yeah, I do want to share a story that I was talking with Eddie Hernandez over at Thrive Mortgage. He's one of the guys that I lean on and use. But he was saying that they have a program, like I'm shopping right now. We don't have anything on contract. So until you have something under contract, you can't really lock, unless you have a special program. He has a program to where you can pretty much lock now with whatever interest rate is, and you have like a 90-day window to shop. So it takes a little bit of pressure off of your buyers, right? So that might be something that if you're interested, just text me, all right? Or get a hold of me somehow, and to get a hold of Eddie, all right? And but that might be something that you and your buyers might be interested in, so that you're not like shopping, and 3 months from now you find something, but all of a sudden you have an 8% interest rate instead of a 6.2 or whatever it is at right now. All right, so something to think about. But I always think about this. In this business, you have to have the mindset of abundance, right? Every single day in every single market, people are buying and selling because they want to or they have to. All right. So it's our job to just keep on going and going and going, and deals close all the time in any market. All right, so keep going and do the daily tasks that we have. So let me go back to sharing the screen, get back to our slideshow here. So today's goals, right? Today's goals in this class are to evaluate your plans critically, all right? To make adjustments if need be, all right? And I think we could always make little tweaks here and there, all right? And then to feel confident with your plan to close out 2022. I was in a training yesterday with Josh Sigmund, and he said, you have one more quarter, you have 3 more months to finish out your 2022 plan, all right? Because in the fourth quarter, it's time to plan for 2023. I was like, oh, wow, like that's an interesting way to look at it, all right? But sort of kind of right, like these last 2 weeks, we need to finish this quarter strong, do our daily habits, but during these 2 weeks, we need to be planning for the third quarter and like how we can make adjustments and move it forward, right? So types of plans, all right? So these are some types of plans that kind of came off the top of my head. Health plans, you know, do you have a health plan? So I know Christina and I have been working out for a long time now. So one of my health plans was I am going to work out every single day, no matter what. All right. So it's the first thing I do when I wake up, and I think I'm at like 156 consecutive days. I haven't missed a day since January 10th was the start of that. And so it's not necessarily written down, but it's something that I do and I love doing and I feel good about it. Obviously, I'm seeing results, and I'm going to keep that. Now, something that I could tweak is, well, last night I had Wingstop and I eat like crap most of the week. You know, so it's like, okay, well, my workout plan is good, but maybe I should probably tweak what I'm eating for healthier eating habits. All right. So that's something to kind of think about. Does anybody else have a health plan that they would like to share? Again, sharing is caring. So please feel free to motivate or share anything that you're working on as a health plan. And the crickets chirped. It's all good.
You already said mine, the same as yours.
Yeah, I took yours. We'll talk about business plan here in a second. All right. And then a relationship plan. You know, so like my wife and I are in conversations of like what we would like our marriage to look like in a better place. You know, and what does that mean? That means we're doing weekly date nights. Does that mean we're taking a nice vacation every 3 months, every 6 months? You know, what it is, a little getaway. What's our workout plan? You know, are we taking walks together? Those type of things. Spiritual plan. One of my spiritual plans that I was doing really well and I kind of fell off was that I was, you know, reading a little bit of the Bible every morning. So that's probably something that I need to get back on as I've fallen off that a little bit. Family plan, you know, what does that look like? Are you planning a vacation? Are you planning, you know, a getaway, just this little weekend? What are you doing for July 4th? Stuff like that. I swear, part of my family's plan growing up must have been we eat out every Friday night, you know, and it probably wasn't written down. And, you know, my mom jokes like, yeah, I was just tired and I didn't want to cook. So we always went out on Friday nights. It almost felt like it was planned that way. But whatever that is, you know, we go to the pool this many times. So just kind of thinking about that and how you can make family dinners maybe once a week, you know, a certain day if you're busy schedule. Like for Thursday nights, I always have daughter and daddy date night, you know, or we just do dinner, right? And it's like, I know that it's in my schedule and I don't plan any showings during that time because it's already locked in. That's my family plan, right? And personal growth, something that I've been doing is trying to read every single day. Monday through Friday, I'm pretty good at it. All right. I do listen, and sounds crazy, but I get a lot of really good information from TikTok or even things that I follow on Instagram. And I save those things or I share those things. And it's I believe, yeah, there's other stupid stuff that I watch on TikTok, but there's also good things that I follow. It's like, ooh, I just learned something to share and grow my business and think about as we move forward. So think about those types of plans, right? We'll talk about this here in a second, but this is what I think the breakdown, this is how I like to break it down, right? So whatever plan you have, I even have one here for my marriage, right? And it's broken down daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. And maybe I don't have something written down in every single one, every single category, but like something daily is like a workout together and like a nightly walk. That's something that we could probably do every day, or at least several times a week, a weekly date night, right? Monthly, we can do like a long weekend getaway. Something that's not as exciting is a budget meeting, all right? Once a month, sit down and look at the budget and go, hey, everything's looking good. This is our goal. We want to get here. We need to make some adjustments. All right. Quarterly, maybe a mini vacation every 3 months. All right. And yearly, I like to take at least 1 or 2 large vacations. Right. Those are something that we would love to do. That's kind of our plan that we're working towards. Right. So I think it's kind of important to kind of think of it in this breakdown here. My business plan. All right. This comes from, and I've talked about this before, Agent Rise. I was about to say Agent Traction. Agent Rise talks about the 3-pillar program, right? Business plan. There's a sphere pillar, a chase pillar, and a traction pillar. All right. The sphere is where, if you listen to any real estate book or any business book, you have to start with your spheres. Your bottom line is your spheres of people that know, like, and trust you, right? Family, friends, coworkers, past coworkers, anybody that you know from church, like they're part of your sphere, right? And what are you doing to stay in touch with them? What are you doing to market to them, etc. Right? Your chase pillar are the thousands of people that don't know you and you don't know them yet. But you want to have a plan of action of how are you going to go find and introduce yourself to more people. All right. The attraction pillar is mostly social media stuff. All right. Are you doing social media posts? Are you doing a YouTube channel? Are you doing a podcast? Are you like, it's all the cool, fun, flashy, like selling sunset style. Ooh, man, real estate's sexy. Like, this is cool. All right. How are you putting yourself out there? Mainly through social media stuff to attract business to you. All right. And then I have a 4th pillar, which is what I call the agent attraction or team pillar. All right. As I like to grow the team, I like to grow, this group. All right. Not all of the people in this group are part of my team specifically, but I just like sharing. And as I learn, I share more and growing this together. So I'll show you that here in a second. So real quick, a show of hands or a yes or no, who has a written business plan, right? A business plan that is written down in some type of format. Roland has one, Christina has one, Clay probably doesn't have one yet as he's week 1, but maybe he does. Hopefully by the end of this, he'll have a general idea. Simone and Eric, do y'all have a written plan of some sort for your business?
No, not yet.
Written down yet.
Great. Awesome. Adolfo, do you have anything like kind of written down, a plan for your business?
He put working on one in the chat.
Cool. Darlene, how about you? Where are you at with that? Oh, she's listening in. Yeah, she's at work.
Yeah, it's more in my mind than it is on paper, so I definitely need to get it on the paper.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to put it on paper. And Clay has one. Awesome. So yeah, that's a really good start for everybody. And if you don't have one, that's okay. Honestly, I didn't have a written one until the start of this year, and I've been doing this a few years. All right. So you're not far behind. Hopefully by the end of this, you'll go, okay, cool. For those of you that do have a written plan, for me, I started with a written plan back in January, and I would give myself a grade of a 7 or an 8. All right, and maybe that's being generous, or maybe that's being too hard. Christina's laughing. What do you think? Do you think I'm at a 7 or an 8? Or do you think I'm lower?
I don't know if I've seen your plan.
You're going to see my plan here in a second.
Oh, okay.
About a 7 or an 8. Let's see. So, Roland, you said you have a plan. What grade would you give yourself on a 1 to 10? How do you feel your plan is working?
Well, this is the first time I try to plan based on seeing the, video. I got onto some podcast, I guess was, and showed you how to do it and this and that. And I put it on paper, but how it's going, probably more like a 3. I need to revisit and fine tune and kind of get that motivation going again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for being honest. Thanks for sharing. Clay's just getting started, so he doesn't probably know what his grade is. All right, but hey, he's already got a buyer that he's going to be working and showing houses to this weekend. So I would say that he's off to a good start. So pretty awesome. Adolfo, you said you're working on it, and Darlene, it's kind of in your head. We'll get it on paper, and I guarantee you this, everybody. If you put this simple plan on paper and you're able to look at it, you will feel way better about your plan. I guarantee it. Christina, you have a plan, don't you? I didn't ask you what you scored yourself. Well, what are you scoring yourself on?
That's what I was about to say. I do have a plan and I have it written down, but the next step for me is to look at it. Because like you mentioned that this is what we were going to be doing today. So I went and grabbed it and I had to like wipe the dust off of it. So not too great. But like looking at it again, I'm like, okay, I did do this and this, which is good. But I'm missing a couple of my action plans. Like I just kind of forgot, So.
I love what my pastor reminds us almost every single Sunday. We are imperfect. So even when I show you my plan, all right, I am far from being perfect and crushing it. All right. And that's why, honestly, I don't know if I'll ever be at a 10. I don't know if anybody is at a 10, truly.
Shane.
Even Shane is not at 10.
9.5.
Yeah, he's up there. With the end of the year at this time needs to make some changes. Perfect. So we're going to tweak that. So let's look at my plan. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. And in fact, after this, we're going to collaborate and kind of come up with some different ideas that maybe y'all are implementing already or want to implement into your plan and our plan. All right. So this comes from Alan Grulick. And when I divided this up, I should have printed this real quick. Let me see if I could. This was my plan after I listened to Agent Rice or read the book, and I started making pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, and it's just all scattered. All right. Oh, y'all can't see this, can you? Because I'm sharing the screen. Oh, you can't see me?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so all the pink highlights. So it's like all this information everywhere, and then I like that. Oh my God, like that's a lot. All right. So I sat down with Alan towards the beginning of the year, and he drew out this. I don't know where he came up with it, or somebody taught him, or what. But I highly recommend you get a blank piece of paper and you write this down. In fact, I'm going to slow down for you all. You must write this down to feel better by the end of this short class. All right. On the left-hand side, just divide it up daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. If you practice this and write this out like this, I guarantee you're going to have a way clearer vision. You're going to feel less stressed. You're going to feel like you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. All right. And then you just got to plug it into your calendar as where it fits. All right. And then you just got to do what the calendar tells you to do. But remember, I talked about my 4 pillars. Well, this is my sphere of influence pillar. All right. This is my chase pillar. This is my attraction. And this is my agent attraction /team. All right, so as we'll go over this real quick, on a daily basis, this is what I shoot for. This is why I'm not at a 10. I'm more of at a 7 or an 8, sometimes at a 6 or a 5. All right, just depends what's going on. But I try to write 2 personal cards a day. All right, and that's mainly to my sphere or anybody that I see on Facebook. Let's say one of my ex-students just had a twirling competition where she did really, really well, right? And her mom was posting about it. I could literally sit down, pull out my personal cards and say, congratulations, Stephanie. So happy to see you doing well. Whatever the Horned Frogs are at TCU, go get them. Have a great year. That's literally all I have to do. Put a little postage on it and put it in the mail every single day. And then on top of that, the 2 personal cards, I do count birthday campaigns. So I'll show you my schedule here in a little bit, but all of my sphere, or I'm working towards that, all of my sphere is on my birthday calendar. So when I pull up my weekly calendar and I go, Christina's birthday is coming up, let me write her a birthday card. All right, so that counts as one of my 2 personal cards. So surely, if let's say I know, even if I know 50 people, then you can look at them and I guarantee you know more than 50, because just look at your Facebook page. How many freaking people do you have on Facebook? Just start Facebook stalking them, all right, and going, oh, somebody just had a child. Let me send a congratulations, and a Starbucks gift card because they're going to be sleepy, or whatever it is. All right. So find reasons to send personal cards. And I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to myself. All right. So again, sometimes I'm really good at this, sometimes I'm not. This is what I'm shooting for. 2 real estate reviews a day. Well, out of my, say, 200 people that I'm pretty close to, a lot of them are homeowners. All right. So they're like, what the hell is the market doing? How much is my house worth? I believe that I should personally commit to 2 times a year, I'm going to send them a real estate review. One at the beginning of the year and one coming up on the 3rd quarter. 1st quarter, 3rd quarter, I pretty much start over at my list. So as I go into July, as I reboot, because I dropped the ball, all right, and I didn't do this very much at all right, I'm going to start July going, okay, start at the top of my list and 2 a day, 2 a day. So that's 10 a week. That's 40 in a month. By the end of the 3rd quarter, 40 times 3 is 120 out. All right. By the end of the 4th quarter, 240 have gone out. All right. And then you just start back at the top come January. Right. So in theory, this is easy to do if you just organize it that way. My hot warm, we've talked about this before, but these are the people that are actively looking or interested in real estate. They've raised their hand and said, hey, I want to buy a house. I'm pre-qualified. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go look at houses. I'm showing houses this afternoon. So I'm checking my hot warm every single day, making sure those people have what they need. Or I'm doing, what the heck is it called? Matchmaking. We've talked about that before. Finding houses for them, right? Or selling. People obviously want to sell. And I'm managing my database. This kind of ties into talking to my sphere, which I'm a slacker at. I'm scared to death of talking to my sphere. But as you start managing your database, which we'll talk about that again, probably the start of the next quarter, you should have a lot of information on these people. You should have, their birthdays, their email, their address, their kids' names, their dogs' names, their cats' names, their kids' birthdays, their occupation. What do they do for a living? You should have that constantly updated. What's their favorite restaurant, right? What do they like to eat? Those types of things. You should, and if you're going through your list on a daily basis and you're making sure that you have that information, I guarantee you're going to go, oh, wow, I don't have that information. You know what? Let me just text them real quick and go, hey, what's your favorite restaurant? They're probably going to respond to you. and then you fill it in. So that's what I plan on doing. I rewrote this. This is like the 4th version of it this year. All right. And I rewrote this about 30 minutes ago, and it's still not quite done. I was going to add a thing or two here. But then on my sphere, I also do a weekly email. That's been great. I've missed one week. All right. So pretty darn consistent there. Christina is sending out a newsletter once a month, and I think I'm going to piggyback off of that and do that as well. We were guesstimating that's a little bit over $1 per person by the time you print it, you stuff it, you put the stamp on it, etc. So can you afford $100 a month for 100 people that are closest to you to get a newsletter? And now you're just staying top of mind. If you can, that's probably the best $100 you could spend in real estate. All right. That's probably like, if you're not going to spend any money, again, I'm talking to myself, that's the starting point. All right. Don't go spend $500 on Zillow leads. Spend $100 and send a newsletter to 100 people every single month, right? That know, like, and trust you and will refer you. All right. So that's where you want to start spending money if you're in a point that you can't spend money. Another thing is a letter of the heart. So that's a mailer. That's just a, hey, this is an update on my life. Every quarter, I'm going to be doing that. So what I plan on doing is, once a quarter, I'm sending that out. Well, there's 2 other months in that quarter, right? So those other 2 months, they'll get a newsletter. But one of the months, they'll get a letter of the heart, which is maybe pictures of me and the family, maybe pictures of the closing, whatever it is, whatever's going on in that month. So this next quarter, we have July 4th. We have August, kids going back to school. We have September, right? So do you want to send it in July, August, or September? Maybe you send it in August, right? And you talk about going back to school. Hope you have a great year, blah, blah. I was a school teacher. Maybe I throw up an old picture of me doing band directing, whatever it is. And it's just a personal touch, all right? So that's something that I plan on, I want to do, all right? So that's why I write it down. And then yearly, I would love to do 2 events, all right? One of the easiest events that I've heard, and this is a no-brainer, is during Thanksgiving. You're thankful for all your clients and their support. You say, hey, come pick up a pie. I'm going to be over here from this time to this time. Tell me what kind of pie you want. I'll buy it and you can come pick it up. All right. So a nice, easy touch there. And then the birthday campaign of sending out birthday cards. Those are really good. You can see that most of my stuff is in my sphere because most of my business comes from my sphere. So when you take care of them, you're going to get more business. All right. Chase pillar. Let's jump ahead real quick. Let's collaborate. So all the stuff that we just talked about in sphere. All right. Is there anything else that y'all can think of that y'all are planning on doing with your sphere, of how to stay in touch with them, how to market to them, and open up your mics and start telling me, what are you planning to do with your sphere? Not all at once.
So Tony, this is Darlene. I feel like I need so much information from my sphere that I don't currently have, because a lot of them are just, I work with them or they're on my Facebook. So I may have at most, like, I can reach out to them in Messenger, or I can see them in person, or I can see them, or I maybe have their phone number, but I don't have birthdays, anniversaries, mailing address. So I'm trying to think, maybe like I could create like a VIP club and say, hey, will you be part of my VIP club? Can I get this information from you? So that I'm not constantly reaching out multiple times to say, now can I have your address? Okay, now can I have your birthday? Okay, now can I have your anniversary? That seems stalkerish. Yep. So I'm trying to think of a way to get it all at once and, make it seem like, hey, you're special. I'm creating this special VIP club thing.
I completely agree. And in fact, my training yesterday was talking about this. and he was saying that you should send out an all about you form. Can y'all see that all about you form that I have here on Google? And
Yes.
so this is a great form that I've used when doing a buyer interview, right? And kind of before we even talk about what they're looking for in a home, I want to know more about them as a person, because I hope to have their relationship for life, right? But he was talking about, yeah, you don't want to call like, hey, what's this? Hey, what's that? And then you don't also want to like get on the phone with them and take 10 minutes of their time going, tell me your kid's name and tell me your blah, blah, blah's name and blah, blah. So you call them or text them and say, hey man, I love you. I want to love on you more. I'm doing birthday campaigns. I'm doing this. I'm trying to improve my business. I'm going to send you an all about you form. It's a Google form. If you could please fill that out for me, I really appreciate it. You know, it's all about pretty much getting to know you better and loving on you and your family, right? We want to take care of you. And then you send them this link, all right? And then most of them will probably fill it out, right? But let's look at this real quick. Name, mailing address, their cell phone, and like obviously you have some of this, but just have them fill it out again, all right? The occupation, their Facebook name, all right? Their birthday, significant other's name, same information, right? Phone number, email, occupation, Facebook name, their birthday. What's their anniversary date? It'd be nice to send them like a reminder about their anniversary. Say, hey, Clay, just want to say, what are y'all planning on doing? Next week is your anniversary. Hopefully you didn't forget, you know, whatever it is. You got plans. And then obviously on the day of, tell the wife like, hey, happy anniversary. Children living at home, what are their names? How old are they? All right. When is their birthday? Family pets, all right? What type, what names? Favorite restaurant, favorite hobby, favorite store, favorite food, favorite sport, you know, favorite adult beverage. You know, I always feel awkward, and I still do this to this day. I have closings and I usually put like a bottle of wine, but some people aren't wine drinkers. You know, they're more of a beer drinker or liquor, you know? So it's like, man, I probably should know that by the time we get to the closing table, but sometimes I have to ask a friend that they know, like, hey, what does this person drink? You know, and then I put that in a little goodie bag, right? So, so this is a good thing to have, all right, so that you could possibly send this to them instead of asking all of those things. Does that make sense, Darlene?
Sure does. Great way to do it.
Cool. Anything else, Christina? I think, did you have something to say about what you plan on doing with this sphere?
I mean, again, it's kind of what you covered, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'm starting slow with like the newsletter. I was doing personal letters when I first started. So I would like to reincorporate that because it's so fast. Just got to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So the physical,
notes.
yeah. So the snail mail newsletters once a month, personal notes, try and get out at least like 6 a week or something.
Yeah. No, for sure. Another one that's really popular that people like to do are pop buys, right? Pop buys, think about this, and Mark Chambers talks about this. Almost every single month, there is something to celebrate, right? So there's like a holiday every single month, right? We have July 4th coming up. We have August is the start of school. What is it? September is like Labor Day. And then all of a sudden we get into October. Well, Halloween candy is a great opportunity, right, to drop off a little bag of candy to all of your past clients. Or if you don't have past clients, you're new. You know, you probably have like at least 50 good friends, and maybe you don't want to do 50, do 20. You know, do like your top 20 VIPs. Like I'm gonna drop, or you know that they have kids, right? Go, oh, I'm gonna drop off three little bags of candy for them. You know, the week of Halloween, happy Halloween, attach your little business card to it, you know, whatever it is. Maybe write up a little card and attach it to it. But that's another good thing that I'm considering maybe not doing a lot of. Some people do a lot, but some people just do a little bit, right, here and there. Like Easter is a good one. In November, I'll probably do the pie giveaway. December, probably, wrap that into another little candy drop off. And then January, maybe nothing, but February, a little Valentine's Day. If you wanted to do the Popeye thing, there's plenty of opportunities sprinkled throughout the year that you can add that and have that personal touch with those people. Is there anything else that y'all have heard about or are considering doing with your sphere?
I was just gonna say I have a friend that I was talking to about when I was getting into real estate, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we loved our realtor," and it was Alan Grulick. And there he was like, my friend was saying that he does pop buys, that Alan does them, and he'd be like, "Man, it's just a random holiday, and all of a sudden we have this cute little basket on our doorstep, and that's awesome. You should definitely do that when you get into real estate." I was like, "Wow, way to go, Alan."
Nice job, Alan. But yeah, and if you can't come up with different ideas, or I do think that these things, there's plenty of stuff in here. All right, these personal cards, man, you'd be surprised when you start sending out personal cards. You get people texting you all the time. "Hey, buddy, I got your card. Thanks so much." It's really cool when that happens because maybe you haven't been in touch with them in a while, but all of a sudden there's a close connection there, just with that personal touch. So cool. Well, let's keep going. The chase is less. All right. The chase is important. All right. Because you're working your sphere, but you always want to grow your sphere. Let's say your sphere is only 50 people. All right. Well, according to Ninja Selling, the 50 people that you're taking care of, they are worth about $1,000 a year in income. So let's just say you only had 50 people, you were really taking care of them, they were sending you deals, they were doing deals with you. It's going to average out to about $1,000 of income you can count per person in your sphere. Well, that's $50,000. Well, guess what? You probably want to make more than that. Well, you need to grow your sphere and meet more people and bring them into your sphere so that you can start loving on them as well. How are you going to do that? The first thing that I did in my career was open houses. All right. Open houses is face-to-face contact. You meet the buyer. Sometimes you really click and, everything goes well. There are ways to do open houses. Two main categories is you want to get their contact information. All right. That's crucial. And then figure out what they're looking for in a home, their criteria. We need a 4-bedroom. We need a 3-bath. Okay, we need a backyard because we have 3 dogs, whatever it is. So now you have exactly what they're looking for, and we want to be in Stone Oak for $200,000. Good luck, buddy. All right. But they'll tell you what they want if you ask the right questions. All right. And then you just, you have their contact information. You can set them up on a search. That's typically what I do. And you can do matchmaking and help them find that. All right. If you're doing that and staying in contact with them that way and they're on your hot warm list, all of a sudden they're going to do a deal with you. Once they do a deal with you, they're in your sphere and now you're loving on them as well. All right. So I do plan on trying to do more open houses. I haven't done them in a while. I have my daughter every other weekend. So I'm trying to commit to, hey, two times a month, I'm going to do an open house, right? Just to meet a few more people here and there. Because especially now with my experience, I know how to communicate with them better. I know how to follow up with them better. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be pretty successful with at handling them, right? And we'll do another class here on open houses and how to be successful with that. The other thing that I've fallen in love with, and Darlene has fallen in love with because she had her first closing because of this, is marketplace. Darlene, I'm telling you, you're on the right track because my first deal was on Marketplace. So just keep doing what you're doing. Marketplace, I do have 2 videos up explaining how I do it, but I'm committed to the next 7 weeks as I get into what I'm calling my icon year. August 1, it's going to happen. All right. 7 weeks, I'm going to do 5 Marketplace posts a day, Monday through Friday. So I'll have 25 ads floating around in Marketplace. And then I get random people asking me if it's available. And then I just strike up conversation. 90 of the time that conversation dies away and nothing happens. But then all of a sudden somebody has a conversation and you get their criteria, what they're looking for in a home, and you get their contact information. And I immediately set them up on a search. All right. And all of a sudden they're getting houses for the next 3 months from me. I also, do some matchmaking, which we talked about before. And currently right now I have 2 clients that are looking to sell and buy. All right. That I met through Marketplace, that I've shown them houses and we're actively looking, and each one is going to be more than $1 million worth of sales once we close. So I'm going to have over $2 million worth of real estate sales from 2 people I met on Marketplace. Oh, by the way, there's other people that I'm have set up on searches, right? So this does work. It does take a little bit of time, and there are 2 videos that I go in depth with that, but I like it. And I commit 1 hour a day to posting 5 ads and responding to messages. And I go, hey, I'm a full-time agent. Surely I can carve out 1 hour a day in the morning to knock this out. 11 to 12, that's what I'm doing, Marketplace. All right, so that's what I'm committed to. Anybody plan on doing open houses as we go into, I know Adolfo, I think you have an open house coming up. I know you've hosted a few open houses. How did those go? And do you plan on continuing those?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna throw one this weekend on Saturday, but the owner got a couple. Sorry, I got my little. The owner got a couple offers already in, so they don't want no one throwing it again this week. But so I had to cancel that one. But I'm gonna do one next week. Usually when I throw them, I always try to have someone there, like a lender. That way he can also advertise. But they go pretty good. That's where I usually get most of my of course the face to faces, and then that's where I get a lot of contact info, because I always have the sign-in sheet that has their name, their phone number, their email, and also asks if they're working with an agent or they're not working with an agent, so I know what they're looking for. But
Yeah.
open houses have been real big for me, so that's how I'm building my sphere, my contact information. So
Good. All I can say is keep doing it. I met 170 plus people my first year by doing open houses. I did a lot of open houses, and now they're in my database, and they get emails from me every single week. Right, and that database has grown to over 600 people. And you just keep adding more people, so that what I'm now doing is a weekly email. I would encourage you. I think a couple of weeks ago we did a whole training on here about a weekly email going out, so that they're seeing stuff from you consistently, so you're top of mind. So keep at it. It works. Just continue to learn and tweak, and what kind of questions do you ask, and we'll cover that here going into next quarter. We'll do a class on that. Cool, man. Anybody else plan on doing open houses or Marketplace? I know Christina allegedly is planning on doing Marketplace.
I'm gonna do Marketplace this week, and I'd like to start doing open houses too. As quickly as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil Mathwick says focus on one or the other. The way I look at it is I go, okay, how long does it really take me to book an open house? Maybe an hour. Okay, cool, it's booked. Okay, I'm gonna plan on doing that and do that. It's not that hard. It doesn't take much time, right? Obviously, it takes time on the day of, but the rest of the week, I could also be doing Marketplace on top of that, right? So I highly, 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 highly recommend, if you're a newer agent and you don't have a lot of business going on right now, that you try to do both, all right? Now, if you can't because of time and schedule and all that, I recommend Marketplace because it's fast. You will literally get to a point where you post 5 ads in about 30 to 45 minutes. And then you're just sitting back and you respond to messages as they come in. That's pretty much how that goes. All right. So check out the videos if you have questions on that. It works. Darlene had her first closing with it. I have several in the works, and just commit to it. right? Be consistent. The more consistent you are with it, the more Facebook pumps you up and your posts go towards the top because of the algorithm, right? So cool. Any other chase, like how are you going to meet different people? Anybody else have anything to throw out?
I did one postcard mailing to my neighborhood, and I'd like to do, ideally, I'd like to do that once a quarter. And I'd like to create a little door hanger, like with a little, maybe like a little gift, like a little, some tchotchke with my name and info on it.
Yeah.
My neighborhood's kind of weird about solicitation. So I figure if I leave them something, it's more palatable than if I just leave us, a card or something.
Absolutely. No, I think those are great. You want to, and then all of a sudden, they might not call you right away, but they see your card, they see your face, then they see you walking the dog or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
park and like, hey, I know you, and then and that's how it happens. Chamber.
Oh,
go ahead.
I also have a magnet on my car, which has caused a lot of funny conversation because now when I drive up to the stop signs, you know how the panhandlers will be out. Sometimes they say, "Hey, darling." But the car sits in my driveway, and so my neighbors are walking by. They're seeing, my signage on the car. They know there's a realtor in their neighborhood. And sometimes I see my friends will be like, "Oh, I saw you driving down the street." So I figure, well, if my friends are seeing me, then other people are seeing it too. So it can't be that bad of a thing. I can handle people asking for a buck every now and again.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It definitely gets eyes. I mean, I drive by and I see like a JB Goodwin sticker. I'm like, who's that? Even me as a realtor, I'm like, who is that? So yeah, those types of things work. Another thing of like something that I need to get on, like I know Christina has EXP shirts that she plans on wearing all next week at public events. I don't have like a bunch of EXP branded, but I need to, and I should. And like, if you go to the gym, you should wear EXP hat or whatever. Or I'm at the beach, I was playing craps at New Orleans on traveling with my brother, and I'm sitting there with my EXP hat on, and this lady next to me, she's like, "How do you like EXP?" And I was like, "What?" I forgot that I had my hat on, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a realtor at KW, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh no shit," just because you're wearing something. So again, that's a chase. Those are people that you don't know, but hopefully you know them now. All right. So there's different ways. Anything else that pops in your head that are ways of meeting new people is what we're thinking. Any other thoughts?
I'm super excited that my son's starting preschool, and again, I'm gonna like wear my stuff and be like an active parent in that, right? Room mom or whatever you can do.
Yeah. Same thing with kids playing sports. All right. I see, or I drive by. I drove by. I forgot what elementary school is right by my new house, but I see a big old banner, the Pat Hayes Group. So he's paying some kind of money to have his sign right at the front of the school. I don't have experience doing that, but I think it's kind of cool. Something else. I know the principal at Piper that I think I'm going to reach out to and say, "Hey, can I bring coffee and donuts to your staff?" Right. I'm new in the area. We literally went to college together, so we're pretty cool. I think it's been a while, but hopefully he says yes to that, and like I can do my little spiel and hand out some business cards. And I'm pretty sure I would get at least a deal out of that, and it will cover the costs, right? So, any other ideas? Cool. So yeah, let your brain run wild. Follow different agents. All right. It doesn't matter what brokerage they are. Like, go, ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal that. Just find things that people are doing and go, I like it. I'm going to do that. I like it. I'm going to do that. Right. And then real quick, we'll wrap up here pretty quickly. Attraction is mostly social media, in my opinion. Right. So I'm pretty good at social media posts. And I for the most part, post Monday through Friday, every single day, and I need to stay consistent at that. I would still say I'm at a 70 or 80%. All right. Social media interaction, I really like that one. And need to be more consistent. So instead of scrolling Instagram or TikTok, which is like impersonal, I need to stop doing that and spend more time on Facebook, which in my opinion is more personal. All right. And just liking things and commenting on things and staying, finding reasons to write them a personal note, and doing those types of things. Spend some time on Facebook and just drop a bunch of likes. Now be genuine, all right, and make sure that you're truly interested in their life and their lifestyle. Congratulate them, different things like that. I think that's super powerful. All right, and I have a meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. With another agent from another brokerage to collaborate about how to make videos. All right, that's something that I really want to get into, at least the short form videos like TikTok and Reels, but I just don't really know where to start. So that's something that I'm working on. Now you can see that I don't really do anything monthly or quarterly or yearly in that. All right, but something I might be able to do is like, I heard somebody do this. It was like a Facebook Live, and it was talking about like a home buying seminar, right? And you invite people to your Facebook Live, and you talk about things that you need to do and prepare for when buying a house. Or you can do another one of like how to sell your house. Maybe that's something you can do on social media, maybe quarterly, maybe monthly, whatever it is, right? And then is there anything else that y'all have an idea about doing as far as attraction?
I have one.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know. It's just me though, but see, they say channel where you get the most attraction from. Believe it or not, for me, it's been TikTok. So I closed the rental. It's been rental leads, but I closed the rental this past week. I've already done it and everything, but it came from TikTok. The way I do it is when I go to houses, when I'm showing people houses for like either they're buying or they're renting, or I'll find random houses on the MLS that are not far from where I live at that are listed for sale. So what I'll do is I'll go over there and I'll do the TikTok video. Just start with the front of the house, go in the house, the whole tour of the house, post it on there, put the rent, how much it's for, where it's for, and stuff like that. And I've been getting a lot of hits from it. The rental that I just closed, I asked him, because every time I get a call from somebody that's calling me from a rental or from a buyer or seller, anything like that, I always ask them, where did you find me at? Did you find me from a friend? Did you find me on Facebook? Did you find me on Google? And the last couple of them have been from, my last 3 renters have been from TikTok. They said that they were scrolling on TikTok and they found one of the videos I posted from the houses. And I was like, oh, okay, pretty cool. So that's what I'm gonna start doing, is using more. For me, it's been more hits on there, so that's what I bought a little thing so I can make videos for TikTok to try to use that one as drawing more people and everything like that as well. Because all I do is just do the tour of the home and just put how much the house is, square footage, what side of town it's on, and then people just, I get a lot of inboxes and then phone calls. So that's pretty good.
Dude, that's awesome. Like I would double down on that, right? And that's super encouraging. I'm gonna go check out your TikTok so that I can get an idea. For whatever reason, I just haven't gotten into that, and I know it works. You're living proof that it works. You've closed a deal from it. It's like, why aren't we all doing that? Like, why can't we do on a Friday afternoon? We've pretty much wrapped up our week. Like, go do a video of like the closest nice house next to you and post it on TikTok. Like, it's not hard. So I would encourage y'all to go find Adolfo on TikTok, right? Adolfo Leal on TikTok, and watch his stuff. Like, go find other realtors and watch their stuff. But yeah, simple video walkthroughs of a house. You don't even have to like say anything. You just do a video walkthrough. You type in stuff. I need to get off my ass and do that. That's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations on that, and keep on doing stuff like that. Cool, man. Yeah, YouTube channel, all right, is another one. podcasts if you wanted to do a podcast for buyers and sellers, all right, etc. So anything else that y'all wanted to throw in as an idea for attraction? Cool. And then the last one, some of y'all aren't doing this, and I am, and I didn't do it until like my second year when all of a sudden I had some people join the team. But on a weekly basis, I do these Thursday trainings, and I like them. And for the most part, we haven't missed many over the past 2 quarters. So I want to make sure that we stay consistent with that. I do want to do individual check-ins and make sure that my frontline people have what they need or are getting the help that they need, including my mentees. So I'm going to try to plan that and schedule that on a weekly basis. And then I do want to do a podcast, like I told y'all before. I've been saying this for a while. I just need to make it happen. So I have a couple of the people that a good audio dude that I know from band that I'm going to meet up with probably the last week of June and go, okay, what do I need? And let's do this. We're already doing coffee and combos. We've missed a few here and there, but once a month, this group gets together at Expectation. All right. And we just get together, have some coffee, some breakfast, come together and just hang out and chat and ask any questions. And it's just a face-to-face. So please come out to those, make plans for that. Usually the first or second Tuesday, we'll try to make sure that we're more consistent with that going forward. As our new broker, Mark Chambers, will be with us. So he's already gotten a big thumbs up from the people up top to attend those things. So come have coffee with your broker. Mark is awesome if you haven't met him yet. And then tomorrow we're having our happy hour. And that's one of the things we've been very consistent with. I don't think we've missed a single month of having a happy hour. So join us at Cover 3 tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock. It's just chill. We hang out. Sometimes we talk about real estate. Sometimes we talk about band. Sometimes we just chill and talk about sports, whatever. All right. But I think in talking with Mark, we have big plans as to making EXP San Antonio even a bigger collaboration. So I would like to try to do a bigger events, maybe every quarter. I think we definitely need to have a holiday party, and even if EXP is not, maybe the productive agents is doing their own thing. But I think what I'd like to see is productive agents go into the EXP space and bring all those people together and other people from outside the brokerage. So we'll see. These are kind of things that I would like to do, and just got to figure out how to implement them, right? So that's it. And this is the most important thing. Once we have it written down on that spreadsheet that we just did, we planned it. Now we have to put it in the schedule, and then we have to do it. And I'm going to show you real quick as far as what the schedule looks like. All right. I love Google Calendar, and this is the monthly view. All right. You can see that I have my birthday campaign on here. I need to send Barbara Hitchcock a birthday and Sarah Talk a birthday. Oh, Christina Silva's next Tuesday birthday. Make sure you say happy birthday to her. But then even when I go into my weekly, I have like 3 main things. My 3 main things that I try to get done every single day is hot, warm matchmaking, my marketplace ads, and manage database. All right. So I try to make sure that I move things around. Obviously, conflicts come up, but you can move and click and drag and put things in place. Then, of course, I have, dinner with Abby, my daughter. I have a baptism for a family member this Saturday. So just making sure that once you have your plan, you got to put it on the calendar so you don't forget it. And then you just wake up every day and go, what am I doing today? I'm doing what's on my calendar. That's already been planned out. All right. So I'm real bad at editing and posting this right away. So I started last week of right after this, I edit and post the video right from this recording. So I haven't been doing it, but now that I have in my calendar, that's what I'm supposed to do from 3:30 to 4. That's what I'm going to do. Right. So that's the gist of it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully y'all got something out of it. hopefully you have some ideas of what to put in a plan. All right. And that's it. Y'all have any questions? Cool. I appreciate y'all being here. This is being recorded, so if you need to go back and look at anything, it should be up in the group here in a little bit. So thanks for being here, and I hope to see y'all out tomorrow at cover 3, 4 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks so
Tony.
much.